metaphor for taking her to pound.
Getting your dick wet.
See, the ocean is her vagina. And your penis is your penis.
Get wet. I haven't listened to that in a while.
No. It's been so long that I can't even just turn it on because I've forgotten all the inside jokes.
I haven't. I listened to it a couple months ago. I listened to some.
No, I should try and find time to listen to some more.
I'll have to.
The problem for me is that I was in a shitty part. Like where I ended was in a shitty part, and now it makes me not want to continue. Because I was it was in the middle of them dealing with the shattering. And it's like episode after episode of them being like, blah, shattering, blah, blah.
Of fucking Chunt making jokes about his Zoom background.
Yeah.
No,
that's where I phased out, and I'm somewhere in the middle of that. So I'm gonna have to both dig through a little bit and find out where I'm at, and then finish off wherever that is, whenever they finish that.
Yeah, I ended up at a point where it was just like they were on I think they was on a travel road, something.
They
it
do
went
that
on for like 15 fucking episodes.
No, they do that a lot.
And I just was like,
there's a thing where they just don't know what they're doing anymore.
no.
Did you guys get to the point where they went to visit Arnie in the 80s?
No.
No.
Okay.
No,
I'm way past you guys then.
Yeah,
that was a long time ago.
Yeah. No, it's been 3.5 years.
Yeah, it's been years.
Because honestly, I've been doing Greatest Generation and Beef and Dairy Network, and
I haven't listened to Beef and Dairy Network for like 2 years.
Well, good thing about Beef and Dairy Network is you can listen to a bunch all at once.
yeah,
I know.
they're small and they only do one a month. So.
I know. I almost want to go back and start it over again so I can remember the fucking all the weird shit with what's his name.
Eli Roberts.
Yeah, because I forgot how.
Oh, he's great.
All right, so let's talk about instead of talking about better shows, let's do our.
Yeah, let's talk. Let's do our worst show than these better shows.
I grabbed whiskey this time. I think I'm gonna need whiskey.
That's where you should. That's where you should start that. Cut out what I'm saying right now and say I need whiskey this time.
That's fine. There's been a couple times that I've just edited you guys to say weird things. So that's fine.
Yeah, I like being fun. Every episode.
Yeah. Just every episode. Well, see, now he just has that. He can just put that anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
This is going to be a text message. Hilarious.
No, the whole thing with the Thumb Wars where I edited out a bunch of that shit.
No, you should obviously edit out if we're talking about Thumb War. Like what I'm saying right now, even referencing the Thumb Wars, you should cut out.
Oh yeah, no, this is all coming out.
No one should know of the Thumb Wars and the great atrocities that were committed in the name of Thumb War.
No, it was something like, you're like, and then we would go into gym class and we would try to do it and they'd try to get it over, but they'd try to do the technique with blah, 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 blah. And I just edited a bunch of any mention of what Thumb Wars was. So it was just...
Yeah, no.
All right. So, I already forgot what the episode number was. 15. This is episode 15.
Is it?
Yep, it's 15.
Now we're getting there.
Yep.
That's why you got to do this. Because you got to keep it going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, you're not going to get to Nightman.
I'm not going to get to season 2 with the monsters. So, this episode opens. For once, it's not normal Baywatch in the immediate opening. Mm-hmm. It's showing the cat burglar girl That is the focus of this episode.
Because I remember this one is called Thief in the Night. So
Yep.
yeah, the character is a cat burglar.
Yeah.
I think they call her a fish burglar.
She's a catfish burglar.
Okay. Yeah, she's a
So
catfish.
she's catfishing. Got
Yeah,
it.
she's cat. Because her MO is she swims up, she scubas up to boats on the dock, and then steals from their safes.
Yeah.
Got it.
So she does look remarkably like the Catwoman from Arkham City in her scuba suit, because like she'll flip up to the goggles and they look kind of like the cat ears.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is actually pretty apt in that respect.
It opens with her. Yeah, she swims up onto a boat. We find out later that there's a bunch of yachts in town for some event of some kind.
Well, what is it? Like there's a particular club or whatever that they're just all about their yachts, basically.
Well, yeah, but there's some event thing that's
Right, that too.
that there's a bunch from out of town, and that's what she's hitting. These out of town yachts. And so she swims in. The security guard sees the flashlight.
While she's opening the safe.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Yeah.
And so
She kind of dumbly just puts it up on like on a shelf or whatever, and he sees it.
yeah, discount Ellerby is basically what this security guard is. Mm-hmm. And so he runs up, and then she promptly kicks his ass like he's like episode 1 Hoff. Like
Yeah, it's true. He runs up to confront her or whoever.
Yeah.
Since he doesn't know at this point.
yeah, so he's like coming up like the stairs to the wheelhouse.
And she sees him coming, and cuts him off right next to some stairs on the boat. And just knocks him down the stairs and,
yeah, it's,
and cheeses it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then like later he says that he got knocked out. So like,
He says he got knocked out, and he says it was like a big guy who did it. Which is
Yeah.
kind of funny too, because she's not a big lady.
no.
She's a petite girl.
And so then after she after she deals with him, she goes back in the water off the back of the boat. And then that's our cut to credits. And afterwards we get to the normal Baywatch part.
Yeah, then it comes to normal.
It wasn't the cold open this time, at least. Mm-hmm. It's Hoff hanging out in his little lifeguard. I don't know what you call them.
Trunks.
No, like the
Well,
little,
those two, but also
like the little hut
the
thing.
little-
Oh,
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah, a little stand thing.
towers. I mean, sometimes
Sure.
a tower, but this one isn't exactly a tower. But you know,
Yeah, a towerette.
Elevated chair.
yes, elevated chair. There you go.
No, but it's more like the little build.
It is more like a building. Anyway.
Yeah. It's the lifeguard's Lehman's tiny hut.
Right.
So, he's getting ready, like, he's hanging out there, and Angie calls him. She is directly above him on, like, there's like a little cliff behind
Yeah,
him.
there's a cliff behind.
Yeah,
him.
and she's just up there. She decides, I'm going to call him. I'm going to get this far. And the last 20 feet, I'm like, fuck it, I'm just going to call him.
I mean, there's a cliff between.
I
them.
know.
But it is kind of funny.
Well, that's where the GPS led her.
She calls him from the top of the cliff so that he has to look behind him like a
Yeah.
jackass and be like,
Yeah. She could have hit him with the Anybody Canyon move. And she did. She calls and says, oh, this client is going to be by like 5 o'clock or something. So make sure you're in the office.
because she's busy with something else.
Yeah,
She's going to some meeting or whatever.
It was some basically she's gonna go network at this like Santa Monica something bullshit. Yeah. Luckily this episode does not fit in an entire second plot in.
Yeah. First thing about this episode is that it has one plot.
Yeah. Everyone's just desperately trying to shove in their story ideas.
Oh.
So he's right when he's getting off work, off of his normal job. So he goes in to the office in his lifeguard trunks that you were desperately to picture him in.
Yeah.
And so he's like putting on a shirt and stuff in the office. Griff is there because Griff is basically just a sad hanger-on in this episode.
Especially in this episode.
Yeah, more so than usual. He's just desperate for attention. And so obviously, he's like changing, and that's when the rich client lady walks in. He's like putting his shirt on. He doesn't have shoes on. He's got socks.
And it's not a ooh, look, Hoff is so sexy thing. It's just like, oh, he looks really unprofessional in this moment right now.
As opposed to every other time in this episode when everybody else is fawning over the Hoff.
Yeah, true. It's weird, and that's like the only time this happens, like in the show. Every other time it's like, ooh, Hoff has his shirt off.
Does Hoff have written by credits on this one?
I don't think so.
Well, yeah. Every other time on the show, it's like, ooh, Hoff has his shirt off, ooh, la di da. This time it's like, oh, like he looks like a schlub because
like later there's a part where like Griff is again got his gaggle of models that he just has. He's just running. He's just got the hoe train going down the stairs.
Right, it's like right before that because he mentioned before that he just takes pictures of models.
Yeah.
As a side job. And so they're just going down the stairs while Hoff is going up.
Yeah, and they're all like, ooh, look at him. And he's like, oh, hard day at the office. Like, motherfucker, you work at the beach. Anyway, she's presenting the case that has already kind of been talked about. With there's these out-of-town yachts that are getting robbed. And they don't want to go to the police because they don't want anybody to know that this is actually happening. It's keep it on the down low. They give him a big thing. She's definitely like and again, another stereotypical rich lady. She's just older than the one from the previous bad guy.
Yeah, just less douchey though.
Yeah,
certainly. Just kind of professional and brusque.
A little stuck up, but
yeah, more just terse than a douche.
Yeah, the big thing is that they're paying way more than they usually get. So it's a big deal for them. So they go to the marina to check out the scene of the crime from the boat that they showed in the cold open. And the cat burglar lady is like doing recon on this operation. So they do this scene where Ellerby and Hoff are coming up to the boat and they're shooting through like her like camera that she's like scouting them out on. So the dialogue's turned all down low. As she's like scoping out like, okay, who's my adversaries in this game of chess here?
Yeah, it's kind of weird that she's going to this length, considering all things considered. But yeah. She's like checking up to make sure that nobody's really after her. But
yeah,
and now that she knows that somebody is, she has to figure out what to do.
Yeah, and then so this is where you get the story from the security guard about the big guy that knocked him out. And Hoff and Ellerby are scoping it out. They find like a tag on the back of the boat where she went in the water. It's like the tag that they put on tanks when they get them refilled at the scuba places. So it's like half of the name of the place. So like, okay, we could look into this. It's something. It's better than nothing that we got. And they go, was the owner of this boat? Because then the lady comes back in. And they're like, is the owner of this boat scuba dive? And like, they're like 60 years old. They don't do shit but drink here.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, that's the first actual clue that they've got. And again, this is the second half of the season where they're actually competent. Whereas in the first half of the season, Hoff would have ate this clue.
Well, he would have like he would have both ate it and somehow also figured out how it played in.
Yeah.
He would have gone, paper makes me mad, and then got
He would have been like
with a bicycle.
He would have been like they would have had the shitty noir voiceover where he's like, sometimes you gotta trust your gut, so that's where I put the clue.
And my gut led me to, and then he figures it out.
So then they the next.
But this is the second season. They don't play no more.
No, this is the second half of the first season.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, the second season is.
No, I wanted it to be the second season.
So then they cut to the cat burglar. She's selling the jewelry, and she's negotiating with a guy who looks like Randall from Recess.
Yeah, that is what he looks like. He looks like adult, even scummier Randall.
Yeah, he even has the same posture, kind of hunched over. And they're doing the worst negotiating, where he's like, "I'll give you 30." She's like,
"Well, he's doing the worst negotiating, especially."
Yeah, it's not good negotiating. Just in general, but yeah, his negotiating is terrible. Where he's like, "I'll give you 30,000," and she's basically like, "Suck a dick," and he's like, 45, my final's offer. She's like, "You'll give me 60, or else you'll go suck a dick." And he's like, "All right, I guess it's 60."
Yeah, that is basically the dynamic. Is she asks for whatever the fuck she wants, basically,
Yeah.
and he gives it to her.
Yeah.
Except for unless he thought it was gonna be 100,000. She's like, "Oh no, twist the arm."
So yeah, and she's basically saying like, "Oh, I want to just get my last two jobs in, and I want to be done. I want to be out. I'll have everything I need."
Yeah, so it's clear that she's not into being a career criminal. She just wants to make her money and get out. But he's like, he's all, "You can't get out. We got to keep going.
It's in your blood. I've seen this once. I've seen it 1,000 times. Mm-hmm. All that bullshit. It's weird that
blood. We have the microscopes.
It's weird that it's not one final job. It's usually one final job and I'm out. This sounds like, nah, I'm two.
Yeah, it is a little bit weird in that respect.
Yeah, so that's what's going on there. Next is the scene where Donna D'Errico is realizing that this show probably won't stick around. She's transitioning to normal Baywatch.
Yeah, I actually had looked around a little bit before this episode and like, oh, she transitions to normal Baywatch at some point. And so in the next scene, she basically shows up while Hoff is lifeguarding.
Yeah, she does another walk of absolutely no shame.
Right,
Her
true.
signature, leave somebody's limo with a flower, walking like she fucking owns the place.
Yeah, true. She's the master of it.
Yeah.
And and she immediately changes on the beach, like uses Hoff. Like,
Well, she doesn't even change. She just has her.
she has a
She
dress.
has her swimsuit on over her dress, so she
Right.
starts taking it off. And Hoff's like, "Wait, we got changing rooms for that." And she's like, "I don't need one." And just drops the rest of it. And she's just wearing a swimsuit. Yeah,
Just swimsuit.
there's a one piece. Yeah, but it's blue, not the lifeguard orange. She hasn't earned the orange yet.
Right, and then that's when she drops like, "Oh, I'm gonna be a lifeguard," and then just leaves.
Well, yeah, she's like, Hoff's like, "What you doing?" She's like, "Oh, I'm going for a run and swimming." He's like, "Oh, what you training for something?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be a lifeguard." And she's fucking
leaves.
gone. Yeah, drops that bomb.
Literally, the meme says he's gonna be a lifeguard, doesn't elaborate, refuses to elaborate, leaves.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Hoff is I fucking heard the whole time.
Oh yeah.
And they do like the camera like is doing his gaze ogling. Yeah. So then back at the
Is
agency,
it 80s goggle cam?
I mean, it should be, but it's not. It should exactly be the whoa.
all Dutch angled and everything. Yeah. Then at night, Griff is trying to like angle his way in to be like a real detective.
Yeah, he keeps trying to be helpful.
Yeah.
That's his thing in this episode, by
Yeah.
the way. Is he keeps trying to like be a real detective and not just be the sidekick detective that he's currently been.
Yeah. So like Angie's got some faxes of like the pictures of the stuff that was stolen that was like sent to the insurance company, showing what's stolen, and then Ellerby comes in and he's got like all these receipts from the
dive
scuba place.
The scuba place.
And so Andy's like, "Here, you can comb through all this bullshit."
Yeah, gives him the absolute shittiest work possible.
And it's like he was introduced with them explaining how to do a stakeout. So they're going backwards. Like they're starting with the more important part, and they go, "Okay, yeah, this is how you do a stakeout. You just bring a lot of food because you'll be hungry." Because Ellerby talking.
Yeah, it's true.
And then now they're like, "Okay, this is how you just comb through a mountain of fucking paperwork."
Well, here's the question: really, is did they skip the basic training either because they thought he already knew it, or because they just were dumb and forgot to do it, or did he just not grasp the basic training the first time through, and they're having to go back to get it?
Or did they just start backwards? Like, was his first day when they didn't show him? Was that like Hoff just handing him a backpack full of grenades? Like, all right, fuck it, you want to be a detective? Let's go party.
Yeah.
And then every time they realize, oh shit, he's in over his head. We gotta go back a step. Yeah. So then that's pretty much what happens with that scene. Next, the cat burglar lady, she's scoping out Hoff again at the beach. He's working his lifeguard job. But both times she's been scoping them out, they're using this like this camera like reticle in the picture thing. So
Yeah, it's real lazy.
Yeah.
They just do the little thing
Yeah.
over the camera, over the shot, and that's it.
Yeah. So she's scoping him out. He's getting ready to leave again. And so she's going to spring her trap on him, which is she's going to get hit by his truck.
That sounds effective.
Yeah, in flashbacks to previous episodes, she roller skates behind him while he's backing his car out to go home because he's getting off work.
Yeah.
And she then goes into the back of his
Yeah.
bumper, and then does the whole I'm hurt.
Yeah.
And Hoff, being Hoff, tries to help her
And also get in her pants.
and proceeds to get in her pants.
Yeah. There's a weird part where he's like, don't move. I'm gonna get my first aid kit. And then she immediately has like a bruise on her leg. And he's like, oh, you got a nasty bruise here. Let me clean that off. And he like dumps some like alcohol on it. And like, done. Yeah. And it's like
Blood coming out of her mouth.
Yeah. It is just the she bumps and then falls down. And,
yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. It's like the roller girl from that Dire Straits video, the Carter hits.
Yeah. Anyway, the whole situation parlays into date.
Got it.
Yeah. Yeah, she's like, oh, let me cook you some dinner sometime. He's like,
Lobster, I think.
Yeah, well, no. He goes, that's not necessary. He's like, I insist. You like lobster? He's like, all right, fine, fucking lobster. I'm in.
Yeah.
Because I'm slowly starting to think that he's just a merman.
It adds up.
Yeah.
It adds up.
I thought we were focused on literal seal, not just Navy SEAL.
I mean, he could be.
Yeah.
He could be a Selkie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. Yeah.
Have you
Selkie.
seen Luca? No.
Have you seen it?
So then back at Nights, they explain that they're going to do an underwater stakeout.
Yeah, this is Hoff's plan.
Yeah.
They're going to do underwater just surveillance on all these things.
He gets Ellerby to agree to it by including donuts.
Right.
He explains they're going to be crappy donuts, but Ellerby's still in.
That's all he needs.
Yeah.
So are they just gonna go with like air tanks and sit it with scuba suits
So
underwater?
Pretty much.
They're
Or
gonna
Hoff
have
is.
yeah. Hoff's gonna go under and gonna swim around underneath. He's still gonna have one of those inflatable boats, inflatable Navy SEAL boats that like hang out on in between dives, and then Ellerby and Angie are gonna be up top, trying to see anything from above.
And be kind of useless.
Yeah, just kind of hang out and do jack shit nothing. So that's pretty much how it breaks down too. Hoff is like swimming around. He's got his light because it's dark as fuck. And
It is night.
yeah. And basically that's how the cat burglar lady gets away. She's like doing some shit, stealing some shit, goes down under, and then sees his light flipping about, and she's like, "Oh fuck it, cheese it." And so she's got one of those little
little propellers that you hold with your hands.
No, actually.
no, she's got like a tank thing that goes in front.
It's actually. I figured it out. I wasn't sure what it was at first. I thought it was one of those little propeller thingies, but it's actually like a little safe thing that she stores the jewels and shit in.
Oh.
Presumably, it's just something. It's a waterproof something that she can throw.
And she's like, "Woo!" And she's
so
like, "Oh shit!" She's in
and
kind of yeah.
And but Hoff does spot her, or at least
he sees like some motion, and he like goes to follow it, and then loses it.
she outswims him.
Yeah. And then he's like, "Oh fuck, I don't know." He radios up again. He's like, I saw somebody and lost it." And he's like kind of putzing around on his little inflatable boat, and then he pulls up to the dock again, and then she pops out, not wearing a wetsuit or anything, like with a gun and a flashlight. Like, "Hey, fucking, what are you doing?" And she's like living on one of these boats, and basically Hoff is like, "Oh, I was working on a case," and then he's like, I can't remember if he says that. He says some bullshit.
He basically is like, "Oh, I was doing my job," basically.
Yeah.
And she just goes with it.
Yeah. And so she goes like back on the boat, and then he like radios Ellerby and Angie, and is like, "All right, I think we're done for the night here. I gotta go get laid. And they're like, what are you fucking doing? Done for the night.
That is basically what happens. It's like, he goes,
I'm not all the way done.
he's like, we're done. There's a hot lady here. She's gonna cook me lobster.
He literally says, I ran into a friend, and then, like, Andy's like, what? And Ellerby's like, he's got a lot of friends.
Yeah, that is a good line.
Yeah.
I mean, that is basically one of his superpowers in the show. Is being connected.
Yeah. So when he goes on the boat, he's kind of probing her a little bit for information too, while also wanting to physically probe her for recreation.
Probe the genetic information.
So, like, he figures out that she was a swimmer who made it pretty far in.
But she had an injury.
Yeah, he got a rotator cuff injury.
She was going to be an Olympic swimmer,
Yeah.
but had an injury.
Got injured before trials.
Killed that idea.
Yeah. He asks, like, if she dives too, because she had seen them all in the dive get up. And she's like, no, ear problems. I'm strictly a surface swimmer. And then he proceeds to, like, seduce her with earplay.
Yeah, basically.
Airplay.
Yeah.
Apparently her ears are sensitive.
Yeah, she's a Frankie.
Great.
Yeah, and so...
Umox or something?
Umox.
Umox, yes.
Yeah, so then we get back to night up in the agency, and Hoff has had Ellerby look into this chick's past. Because he's like, yeah, it's a little...
Because he's suspicious. He's sort of suspicious of everybody at this point.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, to be fair, it's kind of a job.
Again, yeah. This is the competent version, not fucking first half of the season bullshit. So Ellerby's like, this fucking clean slate. There's not a goddamn spot on her record. And it's like, it's a little out of the ordinary. But Hoff's like, okay.
He's like, yeah, good.
Yeah. And then...
And continue banging.
Yeah. All right. And then Angie comes in, and Hoff gets a call from her, like, to set up a date later. And Angie angrily applies cream cheese to a bagel in the background.
Yeah. That's what she does.
Angrily.
Yeah, she's just like fucking slathering.
Slapping that cream cheese on there and just...
Yeah. Like Ellerby's being fucking detective guy, and he's looking at both of it like, this is trouble. And Angie's like looking over her shoulder. Hoff is oblivious to this whole problem happening. And she's just like fucking just murdering this bagel with cream cheese. And so then...
Because she can tell already that this is for a date.
Oh yeah. Like he's totally using like his baby voice.
And then I forget how she gets that Ellerby checked this lady's background and stuff.
Well, it's because she's like you're going on a date with her. And she's like super fucking suspicious, and he's like, I had Ellerby look into it. She's fucking paused, and she's like, and she has plenty of fucking. She could have lied to you, and Hoff's like, oh shit, she could have lied to me.
he's like, yeah, she's super suspicious. He's like, yeah, Ellerby, check it out, so I can continue, so you can continue dating her.
Yeah, and she's like, you're jealous. Like, I'm not jealous. And then she takes her angry rage bagel and just fucking slams it in the middle of his chest. I'm like, here's an appetizer for your dinner.
P.S. She's jealous.
Yeah. But also not wrong.
She's not wrong, but she is very catty in this episode.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Hoff is just like, fuck it. And then he's like, hey, Ellerby, you got a shirt I could borrow. Yeah, he takes it in stride and does give no shits here. So then they have the... This is back to a classic Baywatch Nights situation where they have like a 1.5-minute musical interlude, but it's to like a weird like swimming sex scene.
Right. It's Hoff and the cat burglar lady just swimming underwater.
Yeah.
But it's like it's swimming, but the swimming is a metaphor for sex.
Yeah.
I see. So it's the equivalent of just like the train going through a tunnel and...
Well, no, they do like the thing where they like swim. They show like the shot where it's like you got the light coming from above, and so you can see like the silhouette of their body, and they like swim together, and they like do the thing, and they and they do the face thing. Yeah.
And then there's just a bunch of hobbs swimming underwater towards her.
No, they just sort of swim dance underwater.
And they just start punching their way through her boat. That's exactly what happens.
Right.
Um,
And then everybody starts screaming. It's like, oh no.
yeah. And so then immediately after this, like Hoff gets a call like the next day, and they're like, we checked in on those receipts, and he's like, she's totally on the list, isn't she? And they're like, yeah, she totally is. And he's like, God damn it.
He's like, yep.
Totally fucked like a criminal.
Yeah. So, yeah,
So yeah, he exits the situation.
Yeah.
He says, I gotta leave. I gotta go to work.
yeah,
And she's a little,
on edge because she knows he's working on this case. So then they go,
which is presumably why she did this whole seduction angle. Both to make herself seem less suspicious to him and probably, but mostly just that, really. Yeah. Think about it.
So they go to they go back to the marina again. They're staking out, and they see the Randall looking motherfucker.
Go to a boat.
Yeah, and they like check out his license plate, and they're like, okay, this guy's suspicious as fuck.
I think Ellerby immediately knows the guy and is like, oh yeah, he fences stolen goods.
Yeah,
That's what he
and
does.
so we also in an interior where they are not, we get the explanation that she's basically doing this because her brother was arrested for some embezzling scheme that she's sure he's innocent of. They don't really ever say if he actually is or not. Doesn't matter.
They don't say she believes he is innocent. So he needs money for lawyers.
Yeah.
And I think I'm not sure if it's actually said or if it's merely implied, but that the brother was associated with that same yacht club mentioned previously. So she's specifically targeting that yacht club for the stealing as a sort of get back at them.
Yeah.
But she has financiers, right? She has or someone's having her go do it, right? That's what you were saying.
No, it's not somebody's having to go do it. It's that she's working with the Randall guy he's fencing her stolen jewelry and shit.
Yeah,
okay, so he's just a fence.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's making money off this deal. So he's trying to keep her
in business.
Yeah. And so they decide to take like a good portion of that. I think Hoff says that he takes half of that check that the rich lady is paying him, and bought all kinds of fancy equipment. So we got like some night vision shit. He was like, "Oh, we're gonna get this shit out right."
Now you can be Buffalo Bill. That's great.
Yeah. Again, presumably Hoff uses his seal contacts to buy like cutting edge military equipment.
And he does get one of those propeller things.
Scuba scooters, or whatever they're called.
He gets one of those. So he kits them out. Like, what's funny is there's like two like kinds of night vision sets that they have. Like Angie's got one, and so when she's using hers, they use like a green filter, and then when Ellerby's got his, it's like a red filter.
Yeah, it's weird. I think maybe the implication is one of those was thermal, but I don't know why they want that.
I mean, it would make sense to like do thermal with the ocean and stuff, but then they never show any thermal stuff with.
Yeah, they don't. They never do like the thermal effect Predator style. No, it's just a red filter.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. So they go. They're gonna go do another underwater stakeout situation, but this time they're gonna try to not be complete assholes about it. And once again, same people up top, but now Griff is there because he just wants to fucking tag along. Doesn't actually do anything, but he's there.
Nope.
They didn't even buy him any cool binoculars or anything. And so Hoff's, putzing around down underneath his. First, he's got like a fish finder thing, like one of those underwater radar things.
Yes.
And so he's like trying to track her with that. He kind of gets a beat on her for a minute, but then loses her, and then goes in using his new little scuba suit. Yeah.
Oh, we also forgot they also shook down the Randall.
Oh yeah.
When he left the thing, they basically just interrogate him right on the spot. Find out what he knows.
Yeah. So then he dips down there, and like immediately he starts like trying to follow where she's headed towards, and they're like, "Oh hey, Hoff, there's like a boat. You're getting kind of close to a boat."
Yeah, there's like just a party boat.
Yeah,
just going through the place.
And he's like, yeah, I don't see anything so far. I'll keep. And they're like, yeah, you're getting fucking close to the boat, Hoff. And
so he's chasing her, and there's this boat that's approaching them, but he doesn't see it yet.
Yeah.
And she's looking behind her, and she's looking behind herself to check where he is while it's happening. So of course she runs into the boat.
Yeah, she gets like
scooped. The keel. Or something.
She gets like scooped on the keel, and she's just like stuck, like ah. And Hoff's like, oh, I see the boat.
yeah. This is around the time when Hoff sees the boat.
Yeah.
Wait. So, the thief got caught by the keel.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So like the propeller's just on the other side, and she's just like stuck on it, like, and like she loses her oxygen tank.
Right. That too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she's checking behind herself while she's trying to swim away from the Hoff, and he's got one of the scuba scooters now. How's she gonna get away?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now she So she just gets scooped up on that, and so Hoff's like, I gotta do something, and like, what do you do? He's like, I got an idea, and he takes his new little scuba scooter thing and just jams it into the propeller, and then
which stops the motor.
Yeah, and then they show like the guys on the boat, like, oh, what happened? And then that's the last you see of them.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. He just fucking sabotages their boat and skedaddles.
Yeah, and
But yeah, after that he scoops her up.
Yeah,
and
gets her back onto the pier, onto the dock, and gives her CPR. The rest of the crew comes over, like LRB gives her his coat. That's pretty much how that wraps up. And
weirdly, that's kind of it. Is they basically just put her onto they just kind of put her into the ambulance and
that's it.
Take her away.
No,
they don't really talk to each other after that.
Yeah,
that's the weird part. And then he goes back down and grabs the jewelry that she stole and whatever.
Yeah.
It's mostly just him sort of looking at her as she goes, and just be like, "Damn it!"
Yeah,
just going like, "Damn it!" That was a nice piece of ass.
Yeah, and then basically
so her whole interaction is just she gets smacked by another boat and keel hauled.
Yep,
and then that's it.
Pretty much.
Yeah, at the end, yeah.
Yeah.
So, no interaction by Hoff other than, oh, there she is.
No, he pulls her out and...
Well, she's sort of unconscious for a part of that.
Yeah.
Well, I know, but, it's not like he was, threw her under there or something,
No, he's just following her. Because he's got, the radar thing and everything. So he's, following her, and he's got the thing, and it's got, lights on it and stuff. So she's worried about him, so she's looking behind her the whole time.
So she don't see the boat at all.
Yeah.
Got it.
And just runs into the keel.
Yeah.
And of course it's dark. So
yeah.
It'd be hard to see to begin with.
Yeah.
All right.
It is just weird that she just.
It seems very anticlimactic.
It makes sense from the Hoff perspective. It's just sort of anticlimactic for her.
Yeah.
Because she didn't get to have a chance to say goodbye or anything, or explain herself or anything along those lines.
Yeah. But they kind of do that explanation stuff in the little wrap-up scene. It's like Angie and Hoff playing pool.
Right.
And they kind of explain the...
they explain the situation with lawyers and all that jazz.
Yeah. And so, like, it's, just because she is bad guy does not mean she's a bad guy.
And they're like, that doesn't make it okay, but we understand.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much the episode.
Mm-hmm.
It was... The pacing was a lot better because they had only one story.
Yes.
So, that was nice. It wasn't just like, and this happened, and this happened. It's not like a 5-year-old telling you a story about what happened at school. The weird sex swimming scene was a little bit more of a callback to old Baywatch nights.
To OG Baywatch.
Yeah. It's not quite as funny as watching somebody get beat with a bat while somebody plays saxophone on a fire escape.
Well, a few things aren't as funny as that one.
Yeah.
I just remember the old Monty Python sketch where it's like the two people get into bed and they throw the covers on, and then it cuts to footage of a train going into a tunnel, and then the a tower like going up in reverse and all this stuff, and then it cuts back over and it's them both in bed just watching TV of just all the footage. And she's like, "Are we gonna have sex now?" It's like, "Oh, hold on, another one, a little more."
But yeah, there wasn't much in they didn't bother with any twists or turns in this one, really. No.
Well, the good thing in it is that they slowly reveal like her motivation, because you have no idea why she's doing the stealing for half of it. You can only assume that she's just stealing to steal.
Yeah. And then they uncover her more sympathetic background like 30 minutes in or so, 25, 30 minutes in. So that's nice. The Ellerby doesn't get a lot to do in this.
Ellerby doesn't get a lot to do. While they're staking out, we kind of glossed over it, but while they're staking out the her towards the end, right before they rough up the Randall-looking dude, Angie has more chances to be catty about the whole dating Catwoman thing.
Yeah,
got it.
She's clearly not into the idea. Yeah, it's better than some of the more recent episodes.
Just because it's concise.
It's concise. It's a little silly. There's a couple parts that are not quite up with classic, but closer to classic. Like the security guard just getting done in immediately.
That security guard.
Yeah.
You can tell that security guard's super into his job.
Oh, that was another thing that we glossed over, was they did look into the security guard at one point.
Right, yeah, they did look into him, see if... I think he said he
stole some cars.
He stole a car or something.
Yeah.
That was about it.
But this is way bigger. Yeah, they're like, this is I don't know why they still hired a security guard who was a car thief.
That could have been a long time ago.
I know, but still,
could have been the son of one of the yacht members or something,
or that.
It could be any number of things, but there wasn't. On the other hand, there wasn't anything as good as Geraldo's. I didn't know that.
No, that's true. That. It's
Is that going to be one of our new benchmarks? Is whether or not something is better
the delivery on that was so good, Marty.
Yeah.
You don't even know.
Yeah.
Of course, I don't know. I'm not watching this bullshit.
Exactly. That's what we're trying to tell you.
Yeah.
Like, what is it? The funniest moments were probably maybe. It's either a combination of Griff getting shat on for trying to help, or Angie being catty.
Yeah. And they did spend a lot of time on that bagel.
Yeah, she did. She prepped that bagel real good.
It was like an inch of cream cheese on that bagel.
At least.
And she applied every bit of it angrily.
Just a spite bagel.
It was. It was just one half of the bagel that she did it to. We don't know what happened to the other half of that bagel.
I'm assuming she just destroyed it in a fury.
Or Ellerby ate it.
Or Ellerby ate it. Yeah, true.
I'm voting that Ellerby hated.
Ellerby might have eaten the one off a Hop shirt.
Yeah, true. That is another good point. I could absolutely see if they had extended that scene a bit, where Ellerby gives him another shirt, and then I could easily see Hoff leaves the room, and then Ellerby just goes, whoop, and he starts eating that bagel. Maybe picks out a hair.
Well, I mean, if the scene had continued a little bit, he would have gone. Are you going to finish that?
Yeah. If it had been the shorter version, is definitely this. Are you going to finish that?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
it would have been funny though if she was angrily putting the cream cheese on the bagel, and then in one of the scenes where it cuts back to Ellerby afterwards, he was just eating one half of a bagel.
Or it would have been funny if
because he definitely doesn't have one before that.
Yeah,
is part of that.
Or it would have been funny if a scene later they show him looking out of cream cheese here.
Also true. Yeah. The episode definitely needs more Ellerby.
Yeah.
But then most episodes do.
So let's see, what was the Geraldo one? 5.6 repeating?
That one, which one was that now? There's so many of them that have boring ass names that I can't remember. Was it?
I think that's Payback.
Was it Payback?
It's 13.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
Then
seems about right on the scale.
Yeah, because 12 was Thin Blood.
Yeah, I'm looking at it and I'm seeing the part where her face plants.
All right.
Yeah. So, Payback was 5.82.
5.82. Mm-hmm. So what? 5.72?
What's below that one?
That was episode 11 was the 5.55 repeating.
Episode 11. Episode 11. That one was Takeover, right? I think it's better than that one. So it's definitely in between those two.
Yeah.
So high between those two. So 5.72.
I think high. I think it's a fairly solid episode in general.
Yeah.
The only things that I'm missing is more Ellerby and her whole leaving part.
Yeah,
part of it I understand because she's unconscious, but then it definitely feels like there should be some part where she's leaving on the stretcher and she has a little heart to heart with Hoff, but that doesn't happen.
So how about 5.71 and 3/4?
I mean, no, 3/4, 5/8.
I think we gotta keep it on decimals.
No, you're right.
I mean, we do have one that's 4.63 plus or minus 0.24.
You're right. I do always hate when you mix up fractions and decimals. It's really annoying.
Well, that was the point, but yeah, sure.
But people do it honestly, and it's fucking annoying.
Yeah.
I think we got into three episodes before we went just off the rails with the scale.
Well, it was pretty quick because we realized, we're doing 22 episodes on a 10-point scale.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they're weirdly, relatively scored as well.
Yeah,
so.
It's all relative to each other. And then we can normalize at the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I think Silent Witness is going to become the 10. It's going to...
It's looking that way. So, what was it again? What was it between?
It was between episode 11 and episode 13. You know what? We got to put a 69 in there for the Hoff.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so 5.69?
No, 5.7.
169.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Not quite a 5.72.
All right.
But that was definitely Yeah, this was Hoff's most bonerific episode.
Yes.
At least 2 times he got laid. Or at least 1 time, and then whatever happened in the water.
Yeah, the weird water.
Erotic synchronized swimming.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That sounds like it might be the episode title. Erotic synchronized swimming.
I mean, sure.
So, all right. So next up, episode 16.
All right.
This one is called The Curator.
The Curator.
Yep.
.avi.
So what do you think this one's going to be about?
Probably a museum, right?
I don't know.
That would make sense.
Somebody steals shit from the museum.
I'm betting it's like a collector type person. There's a dude who fancies himself a curator. You know, all the best toys and all that jazz.
Yeah.
So
He's
this
trying to keep Hoff as a toy.
Mm-hmm. Wants him to sit naked in a chair.
Do some synchronized swimming with him.
So this one's another written by Kimmer Ringwald, who wrote Deadly Vision and Pursuit, the first episode.
Oh yeah, and Deadly Vision.
But she also wrote Blues Boy. Or
Oh, no.
they wrote Blues Boy.
Uh-oh.
But the director isn't the same, at least.
Yeah, well, I mean, direction is the biggie.
Well, the same director directed Payback.
Yeah?
I don't know.
I mean...
it could be I think it could be a collaborative effort for How Bad Blues Boy is.
Yeah.
well, I mean, if they're both together, though, that's...
Well,
Yeah.
it's not both of them together.
All right.
Yeah. So, this director, first time we're seeing him, but he's directing 3 episodes down the stretch of season 1.
Well,
Oh, okay.
George, but it ends at the second G, no E after that.
one of
Infinity.
those.
Yeah. So this one is a psychopath obsessed with Carolyn Holder who holds her captive.
Well,
I don't know who Carolyn Holden is.
That certainly sounds very like Double Vision. That's for sure. Because that one was about a psychopath, but also psychic powers.
Yeah. So that's the next episode.
All right.
And we're getting close. Getting close.
Tantalizingly close.
Yeah. Still so far away.
No werewolves for you.
Got 7 episodes left. Man. Alright, I'm going to spoiler a little bit for you. The last episode of season 1 has a really sweet name.
Oh.
Yeah, any guesses?
Epilogue. Max Steel. Actually, no. Don't change my answer. Max Steel.
Epilogue is actually episode 19. It is not
Really?
episode 22.
Okay.
Really?
Well, that's dumb.
Rebirth?
Well, Rendezvous is episode 20, but no. Heat Rays. Heat Rays is the last episode of season 1.
Oh.
I hope somebody actually has Heat Rays. It would be a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
We're upgrading from a backpack full of grenades
Is
to Cobra weaponry.
do you think LB would name his restaurant Heat Rays?
If it was like a spicy chicken, like a Nashville chicken place, Heat Rays Hot Tennessee chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
He's
it.
got a picture of Ray Charles with a chicken leg.
Yeah.
Blindingly hot chicken.
I can't see it all. No, I think that's a chicken restaurant. Man.
I think we're done here.
Yeah, I think we're done here.